In this part 2 video of Arizona, we continue our route through the winding road leading to Oatman, admiring the beauty of nature in all its glory, full of vibrant colors throughout this otherwise desert area. We stopped and took a few pictures of the wildflowers and the towering pinnacles, plus gave the dogs a chance to roam around for a little while.
Este lugar tiene fire pit y mire la vista. Wow. What do you think about this place, Cherry?
So, on our way to Oatman, we're actually going through this road that has 191 curves. One of the curviest roads we've ever driven on, that the Chata's ever driven on, probably. Well, we don't know what happened with her before us. But nevertheless, it's only 23 miles with 191 curves. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, now we have Burros over here. Look at that.
I think someone's jealous that I'm scratching you. We got 3. This is what happens when you start feeding wild donkeys. And of course our dogs are going absolutely bananas about this. Who's got the bigger ass? Andres or the donkey? Ah! Andres, who's got the bigger ass? The donkey or you? I think the other donkey is in love with La Chata. Then we got to the historic town of Oatman, but not before encountering the Burros. Yes, the famous Burros that we told you in the last video, which if you haven't seen, we will leave you the link up here. We were so excited to find these wild Burros, and not often do you get to see wildlife so up close, being so friendly and sweet. They even started following Andres. Of course, that was even before we gave them treats. We were told that they'd like salty things, and the closest thing we had was plantain chips. So Andres went ahead and took out some plantain chips and started giving it to them. The only ones that weren't excited about this was our kids. Rimini. These kids. Because they were like, what were these creatures? But of course, Cremini ended up making friends with one of them and even gave each other a little Eskimo kiss.
Cherry, how did Oatman make you feel?
Well, normally Andres is actually the one that gets like this bad vibe about places, but this time it was me. I honestly felt really uncomfortable in this place, and it started even making me feel upset. I don't know how to tell you, but I just felt like this heaviness and darkness about this place. I don't know about you, but some places in the US just have this bad juju about it, and for sure, this is one of those places. Let's start by telling you the story behind the name Oatman. As the story goes, the Oatman family were traveling from Illinois to California through what later became Route 66. This Mormon family was attacked by the Yup'ik tribesmen, and 6 out of the children were massacred, including the parents. Lorenzo, one of the sons, was left for dead, and 2 of the daughters, Marianne and Olive, were captured by the tribe. Fortunately, they were left to forage for their own food, and Marianne ended up dying from starvation. A few years later, the Mojaves actually exchanged a horse for Olive, and Olive went to live, still as a slave, with the Mojaves. While living with the Mojaves, she was given a chin tattoo, like all of this part of her face was actually tattooed in the blue ink. It was something that only the Mojaves did to distinguish who was a Mojave. She lived with them as a captive for 4 years, even though Lorenzo, her brother, tried to do everything with the government to free her. That didn't end up happening until 4 years later. And once she was freed, then she told the story of what ended up happening to her family. So of course this town is named after her last name, Oatman.
Estamos en Oatman, Arizona. Muy bonito el lugar. Se lo voy a mostrar. Did anything else make you feeling uncomfortable?
Well, not to talk about politics, but for sure Arizona is not the most welcoming state to, let's say, other ethnicities. So for sure, we felt a little bit out of place. Nevertheless, it wasn't like anyone treated us mean or anything, but there is just a very strong
Yeah, you feel the energy over there. Yeah.
Politics energy going on there that we're not accustomed to living in California.
Okay. Where we are?
We are at Oatman, Arizona, the first town on historic Route 66, and it's very touristy and so many cars go by.
And how the donkeys become wild.
Actually, that's a funny story. And the one thing that we really loved about this town And it's the fact that these were burros that were brought over for the miners to use in the mines. And of course, when the mines sort of dried out and they stopped mining and around, they just kind of left the burros to roam free and fence for all their fences. And after that, generation after generations, the burros just became wild burros. So still very friendly. And of course, they're no dummies. They know that humans are going to be giving them food and are attracted to them. So they nowadays, there's more wild donkeys in Oatman than actual human beings. It's pretty much a tourist trap when it comes to being a town. You see a bunch of souvenir shops, overpriced art and overpriced antiques, and some food shops, some bars. Yeah, there's a lot of kitschy stuff, but it's still pretty interesting to visit. And it's definitely a beautiful drive from both from west to east through the winding road of the 9 miles with 191 curves, as well as when you continue on to the next town on Route 66. So not that we wouldn't recommend it, but just, you know, mind your P's and Q's.
No, being around nature is beautiful.
Yes. Want to give us your support? We would love to see you wearing our merch. You can find the link in the description of our Etsy page.
It's a good life on the road as we see. Come along with us to see all the beauty this world can bring.
If you like this video, please subscribe, hit like, and share. Don't forget to also follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more recent updates of what it is that we're up to. And if you want to watch more of our videos, click to the right.